Man United are set to make a decision on the future of Erik ten Hag this week, but Thomas Tuchel no longer looks to be in the running to replace him. Of all the candidates to replace Erik ten Hag as Manchester United manager, Thomas Tuchel was the one who could present the most glittering CV and the most compelling personality to manage a club the size of this one. The 50-year-old German is a master communicator in his native language and in English, and in two press conferences ahead of United's Champions League group stage games against Bayern Munich last season, he spoke superbly, including giving his opinion of the similarity of the challenge in managing both clubs. But there is a reason his candidacy to add another super club to his resume never really got off the ground. In fact, there are probably several. Tuchel's Champions League success with Chelsea in 2020-21 was a major achievement, but aside from that his honours don't stand out. A couple of routine league titles with Paris Saint-Germain, the 2022-23 Bundesliga title with Bayern Munich that owed more to Borussia Dortmund's final day collapse than Bayern's brilliance. This season he has guided Bayern to third in the Bundesliga, ending their run of 11 straight titles despite signing Harry Kane, 36 goals in 32 Bundesliga games last summer. The brilliance of Bayer Leverkusen has dominated the narrative in Germany, but Tuchel has steered Bayern to what in their world must go down as a dismal campaign. Then there is his record of falling out with the executives at almost every club he has worked at. He is a notoriously demanding and prickly character, and his war of words with Bayern Munich's honorary president Uli Hoeneß was merely the latest example. That personality is partly why Tuchel doesn't tend to stick around. His spell at Bayern will last just 61 games. He managed exactly 100 at Chelsea and 127 at PSG. It was 107 at Borussia Dortmund. You have to go back to his 5 years at Mainz, ending in 2014, for the last time that Tuchel lasted more than 2.5 years in a job. He might be a big name, and he is certainly the biggest name on the list of candidates if United do dismiss Ten Hag, but that never made him a shoo-in for the job. Sir Jim Ratcliffe had already warned that was the case when he pointed to the difficulties some of the other big-name coaches have had, with Louis van Gaal and Jose Mourinho among those to fail at Old Trafford recently. If you look at the 11 years since David Gill and Sir Alex stepped down, there have been a whole series of coaches, some of whom were very good, and none of them have been successful or survived for very long, said Ratcliffe. And you can't blame all the coaches. The only conclusion you can draw is the environment in which they were working in didn't work. Ratcliffe knows it is key to get the environment right, and that is why Tuchel and Ineos never looked like a marriage made in heaven. Ratcliffe is keen to rip up the football structure at Old Trafford, and he has appointed some high-profile names to key roles. Omar Barada will start as chief executive next month, Dan Ashworth is set to arrive as sporting director, and Jason Wilcox is already in as technical director. This is now about a collaborative structure for Ineos, something else Ineos hinted at when Ratcliffe spoke when his minority investment was confirmed in February, suggesting a dissatisfaction at the power Ten Hag held. What you need are the foundations to be in a good place for Manchester United to be successful, which means that, from our point of view anyway, you need the right organisational structure, he said. Which means not having a coach reporting to the chief executive, for instance, which is what they've got at the moment. You need the right organisation structure, and that's not going to be too complicated. The danger with Tuchel is that he has a track record of falling out with people. You could easily envisage a scenario at United where he falls out with one of the key men behind the scenes, and that isn't what Ineos want. That personality that makes him such an engaging character is also part of the reason why he is a risky appointment in this kind of structure. He might have been the most attractive option to take up the Old Trafford hot seat this summer, but that never made him the most likely.